All right, everybody. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good day. So I'm going to get started on doing these rock sliders / steps. I know a lot of true rock sliders, you know, they kind of go up at an angle from what I've done research and seen. And this to me is more of a step, but it's strong enough if it does come down on a rock or something that it, you know, it keeps it from crushing the body. So I had to kind of lay this out. I had two designs. Everybody really likes this kick out. So I've kind of, you know, I was looking at just doing something simple like up at the top here, but after looking at this and I like how it really looks. It's definitely a lot more work. So I've been laying it out and been doing, you know, mocking it up with bending some aluminum pipe instead of bending the steel pipe. So this is what it is right here. This is like a 65 degree bend, 65 degree bend. And then it's gonna be like this, but I mean, it's gonna go way out here like this, you know. So, well, really further, because this bottom pipe's actually the length that I need up underneath the H3. So it's gonna go like that. But I was thinking about doing like another 60 degree, like so. But I think the 45 coming off the front, I talked to a buddy of mine and we kind of kicked it around and he agrees and I agree. The 45 definitely looks better. So that's what we're gonna go with. So, but it's gonna make up like so. And then of course I'm gonna put the punch plate in it. Don't put plate in it. It's probably gonna have, you know, just maybe one support in there. I might put two. But what I'm gonna do, instead of doing the same 1.5-inch pipe for those supports, I'm gonna use some 1.25-inch pipe that I got right here. And I'm gonna cope it to where it goes in there because I want my plate to be flat. So I don't want this, if I put pipe in there, you know, then the plate, it's kind of hard to put it on top of here. So if you go with a little bit smaller pipe underneath there, then it'll go solid plate and then plate. So that's kind of my idea. Still kicking around. I don't know if I want the dimples to go up or if I want the dimples to go down. I know if they go up, with the dimples going up, it'll definitely give you some grip. So I'll probably do that. That way you got a little bit of grip if you're standing on there. So these are the first ones I've ever built. But what's good about it is, you know, I'm not welding them to the frame. I'm actually going to mount them to where the existing step bolt holes are. There's like 2 here, 2 there, 2 there, 2 up there. So it's going to be 4 places to connect to bolt it to. And they just had like on the old steps, it was just a piece of 2-inch flat bar and a piece of flat bar like this. So I'm going to use 4-inch flat bar and then I'll use pipe coming over to it. So but at first I didn't know if I should, you know, because they're going to be like this low, but it's still, you know, there's stuff that's lower than the steps are going to be. So there's actually, you can see the cross member for the transmission's lower. That's going to be lower. This right here, of course, your leaf spring drop's going to be lower. So, I mean, I'm going to make it to where it comes right flush here. I'm not going to kick it up. So I'm just going to make it come flush out here like so. So it's still going to be above everything else that's up underneath here. But I know a lot of people do it at the angle right here and then right to where the door can open up above it. But I'm not going to do that. So the regular steps are like that. They kind of go right here, but they're a little lower. But these are I'm gonna try to get these up as high as I can. But it can't go no higher than the pinch weld right here for the body. So that's gonna be it. So, but anyways, so that's where we're at. So I was just getting everything laid out to get started, and made me some bins, you know, and marked on them, you know, every inch. That way you know how much material it takes that you need to make these. Same way with those. Same way with the 45. That way I can, you know, put it up here and know how far out, how much material I need for sure. And then starting from here to there, how much I need for my bend and all that. So I'm not real good at bending pipe. I do it as a hobbyist, you know, of course, doing my racks and all that stuff. Most of that's just, you know, 90-degree bends and stuff like that. When you start getting in these 65s and 45s, and, you know, if you want to do 35s or whatever, yeah, I'm definitely, you know, having to learn and lay it out like this and stuff. So I'm not, you know, I can't just say, oh yeah, I need to put a mark here, bend it, put a mark here, bend it. You know, I got to think about it a little bit. So, but let me get this, get a piece of pipe up in the bender, and then we'll start making some of this and seeing what we can get out of it. See if we can get it to match what the aluminum is. So, you know, and then of course on the ends here, I'm going to weld a piece of plate so it'll be, you know, closed off. So some of these copes aren't the best, but I mean, I can fill that in. I'm going to TIG weld all of it with a TIG rig instead of a MIG or anything like that. So, okay, well, I'll get back with you in a little bit. Okay, here's the first bend right here. So what I do is, like if I make this piece here and I'm not sure, what I did is I made this mark right here is my carrier. Well, where it holds into the, hold on a minute. So that mark, once the pipe's in there, that's this mark here, okay? And then from there, well, it really wasn't on that one, it's the one further down. Then that mark there is the edge of the die here, which is, you can see right here, it's 3 1/4 inches on mine. So that's where the bolt is, this part right here. And then that's the first part of the die. Then I went every inch. Before I bent it, I just took a tape measure and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down like that. But I did it on this one here, so I could know when I wanted to bend. So then where I wanted to start this next bend, I put a mark right there. So that way I know for my next bend, it's got to start, I got to put it right here. So it's right at 8 inches. It's a little bit past 8 inches, about 1/8 of an inch or so. So there's 8 inches on this one. And I want about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to put it back in the die. I mean, put it back in the bender to where it's set up right there. So I'll show you that. If I can get you, let me see if I can get something for you to set on. Hold on a minute. I don't have my shit together here. Well, let me see if I can just put you right here. Maybe you can see it right here. Okay. All right, you see the mark right there? So if I put this on here, all right, so I want to make it till it's right there. And whenever this sets in the pipe sits in here, it's pretty much squared up. And then of course, once you do that, then, so we're right at about an 1/8 inch past the 8 there. So that's where the next bin's gonna start, like it is on the aluminum piece. So you wanna level this up. And then once you get everything in there, then you start bending it. And you bend it to 65 degrees. And on this machine, on aluminum, it's about 3 degrees past, like if you want 65, you go to 68, and the spring back will make it back to 65. But on this here, you gotta go just a little bit further, so it's almost like 69, almost 70. So once you get it all set up, you just wanna make sure that your wire is set on 0. And how you do that, you can move this and then tighten up the nut. And then once you know it's on 0, then you take off. But of course, this die is new, so right now I don't have any slop in it. So like when I'm doing my aluminum on my 1 inch, because that die's been used a lot, you got to pull the slack out to where everything gets in a bind, then you set it at 0. But this one here, I mean, I'm having to beat this pin in because it's just everything is just all brand new, and it's just tight. So it'll get wore. The more I use it, it'll get a little slop to it. So, all right, well, I'll get back with you in a minute. Let me make this other bin. It's kind of a loud process, but I mean, I showed you how we set it up. So, you know, from there, then you just make the bin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, here's the first one cut. The first one bent for the out of carbon steel instead of the aluminum. Kind of messed up on my cope right here. I wasn't paying attention, and I started coping it, and I had it set it at 35 instead of 25 degrees. So on the second one, I got it a lot better, but I can fill that in with welding. It's no big deal. So now I bent the 45 on this one. That's going to be the one down there at the end. And then here's the mark that I'm going to have to cope there. And then here's the mark I got to cope there, or notch, cope, notch, whatever you want to call it. So, okay, what I'm having to do is whenever I get so far in, it hits the bit. So then I take the Metabo disc there and I cut off a little bit, and then I finish drilling through it. So I'll set it up and let you see it, if you can see from here how I do it with the coping. Okay, see it bottomed out, so it won't cut any deeper. So now I take the Metabo, And I just cut off a little bit there so the bit can continue to go through. I need more than one extension cord over here. Okay. That's the 45. So now I need to cut out the other one. So this is going to be the next one we cut. But what I had to do is, because I put it, instead of making this a 25-degree cut, I went about 30 because it's actually kind of on the start of the roll right there. So I made it to where it was a little more of an angle to close that gap up a little bit. But normally, if it was down further in the straight part, it would be the 25-degree. So we got to make it a 30. But I'll get back with you in a minute. Okay, got the first one tacked up. I need to do a little bit better on my coping. I got a little bit of a gap on some of it, but it'll be, I can weld it up, it ain't no problem, especially doing it with TIG. So yeah, that's what it's gonna look like. Not too bad. I'm gonna have, like I said, I'm gonna have the punch plate or the plate flat bar in there, and I'm gonna do dimple die holes. Do the smallest ones I got, do quite a few in there. Try to, I think that'll just make it, you know, a little bit better with grip and everything. So, but yeah, that's not too bad for the first one. I had a couple of, like I said, issues on the coping. I need to figure out this angle a little better for the coping, or the notching, coping, notching, whatever you want to call it, because it's just, I mean, I can weld the gap up, but I just would like the fit to be better. So I went in 3/4 of an inch on each end, and but yeah, basically that's what it's going to look like, man. So I like it. Well, I'll get back with you whenever I get some more done. Okay, I got the other side done. I got to get better on these gaps though, on the coping part, on the notching part. Some of them are pretty good fits, but some of them are pretty bad, but I can fill it in because I'm TIGging it. So I cut the end caps for this one. I need to cut the end caps for that one. And then after I finish that, then it'll be on to cutting the pieces of plate that goes on here and dimple dyeing that. So I'm gonna cut these end caps and get those tacked on, and then I'll get back with you in a little bit on the plate part. But they come out too bad for my first set, I don't think. I think it's gonna be all right. So we're not done yet, so it could definitely all go to shit right there at the end, but at least I got that part done. So we'll see what happens after that. I'll get back with you in a minute. I got the plates cut for this, for the steps. Now I'm going to lay it out for the dimple dies. I don't know what size I'm going to use yet. I had to end up freehand cutting this with the plasma cutter, and kind of got a little bit of a gap on this side right here. But definitely got to get better at the notching and tightening up my gaps. I mean, some of them are okay, but some of them are pretty rough. So, but it's the first set that I built. So it's like anything, the more you do it, the better you get at it. But it's coming along pretty good, I think. So let me figure out what I'm gonna do for the dimple dies. I was gonna put a bunch of smaller ones, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not, or if I'm just gonna go with a, you know, what size, just go with one right down the middle. I might just do that. So I don't know, we'll see. I'll get back with you in a minute. Well, I got it laid out. Every dot's gonna be a dimple. This is the smallest dimple I have, so that's the one I'm going with. So I'm gonna kind of stagger the back, and then I skipped. What I did is I just put a straight edge up here, and every width I put a line, but I skipped. That way the holes will be a little bit further apart instead of right next to each other. So I just like I marked this one, set it to the edge, put a line, then I just started doing every one like that, and then I just started skipping every other one. When I got to where I got my brace in the middle, I did it on the ends, so there'll be a dimple, but then I'll start skipping again. Then over here, this is gonna kind of be offset down in the middle, off the middle a little bit. So now I got a lot of holes to drill. I think you gotta drill like, I think it's a 3/4 inch hole for, to get the bit through. I'll have to see what size this is here. Maybe I only have to drill one hole, which would be good. So, all right, let me get back with you in a little bit. I got all the holes drilled. Ended up being on this little knockout. This is a Harbor Freight hydraulic punch driver kit, if you can see it. It's got different dies in it, and it works good with the Swag dimple dies. So this is the knockout for it. I had my mag drill set up because the bigger dies take a 3/4 bit or so. So this one only took a 7/16, so I went one size above 7/16, and then I'm going to start knocking these out. I'll show you. This is 1/8 inch steel. I've used it on aluminum. I don't know how good it works on thicker steel like this, but we'll find out together. How's that? Let me see what's going to happen here. Not too bad. So it gets these little knockouts. Okay, so that's not too bad. You know, I used my drill press to drill all these, so it didn't take long. And then to do the knockout, and then the dimple die goes in there like so, and then there you go. So that's not too bad at all. All right, well, I'll get back with you in a little bit. I got about, I don't know, 1,000 holes to do. Nah, just joking. I got quite a few holes to do, so I'll get back with you when I go to do the first dimple, and that way y'all can see it. I'll be back with you in a minute. Man, my arm's about to fall off. That's a lot of pumping. I need to get one of those air over hydraulic foot pedals for this thing, or press that's air over hydraulic. I don't have one. Okay, this is how, so this is the top. So I got it marked top. So I want the dimples to come up for grip for your foot. So what you do is you use part of the punch thing. That's what holds the die down. So this way, this part, the piece that goes in on the dimple die is going to be at the top, and this is just sitting on the bottom like this. So now when it presses through, it should push up, and that should be our that's the way we want it. So let me get it set up so y'all can watch. I'll do one and then I'll do the rest while it's off camera. So whenever you do this, it's definitely gonna bow, but don't worry about that because you can use the next size die up and put it inside the press like this, and then just, you know, press it, flip this over, press it, and it'll straighten it all back up. So, all right, let's see how this is gonna look. See how the plate's bending down, bowing down? So it bows down, and then when you bottom out, it'll come back up just a little bit, and that's when you know you're all the way. That's it. And like I said, you'll use the next size die up and put it on here and repress it, and it'll straighten it all up. So there's the dimple. So that's going to be on the up on all of it. So y'all got the idea now. So we got to go through here and pump all that. Tell you what, man, that's hard on your arms. That's for damn sure. Too old for all that. So I'm gonna have to, you know, work smarter, not harder kind of deal. But I'm gonna have to get me a foot pedal. I know Harbor Freight sells them, but they're like 150 bucks. So I'm trying to find one at a pawn shop a little cheaper or something. But all right, man. Well, let me get these all dimpled, and then we'll I'll get back with you when we got them sitting in there. And then after that, it's going to be a whole lot of welding. So I don't know if you really want to watch that or not. There's plenty of videos online about welding and everything. This is just a video on me building these sliders or steps. So I'll get back with you in a little bit. Okay, you see after you do all your dimple dies in a piece, see how it makes it like a banana? So what you do is you just go get another die that's a size or 2 sizes bigger, and let's put it up here and I'll show you how you straighten this up. I hope y'all can see that. I'm not sure if you can, it might be too close. So you put the female side, because that's the way you want this to bow down. So you put the female side down, you set that in there like that, then you get this one that's bigger, you stick it on there. Well, we're gonna need might have to get a different little longer bolt. It don't take much, you just got to get it. So then you just work it around, work it down. Yep, that will work. Keep going. Well, let me get the other pin for it so we can use the bigger die. All right, now let's put it on there. See, it went down a little bit. Let's go to the next one. See how it's making it go down a little bit? You just keep walking it. It's a pain in the butt, but That's what you gotta do to get it to flatten back out pretty good. See it? Okay, that gets it pretty good, and then the rest of the way, you just put that on there, and you just flex it a little bit. Go to the next one. Flex it a little bit. Pretty good there. All right, let's look at that. You can pull the rest down by with clamps and stuff when you go to weld it, but that's not too bad. It's better than what it was. You know, it was super bowed, but I think you can get that now. So that's not really that big of an issue. So, but you can put it in there and keep working it like that, and to get it totally flat. Like I could do the ends a little more, it'd be a lot better, but that's what it's going to look like. And then this is the passenger driver. It's going to go in there like that. See how that ain't nothing to push down now. I got it pretty straight. So what do you think? Not too bad, huh? I like that. Yep, I think that's going to work out pretty good. All right, well, I'll get back with you in a little bit. I'm going to finish doing the rest of these dimples, and then I'll probably call it a day, and then tomorrow will be a welding day. So I don't know if we're going to tape any on the welding part. Like I said, there's a lot of videos out there on welding, so we'll see. But all right, I'll get back with y'all in a little while. Okay, It's all welded up, everything's done. Next thing to do is to cut the plates for the frame and drill some holes for those, and then get ready to mount these bad boys up there. See what it's going to look like. I think it's going to look pretty cool. So, all right. I just wanted to show y'all after I got it welded up. It's kind of hard to really see it in the camera, but they look pretty good. I like them. So, yep, look pretty good. I ended up TIG welding all of it, you know, so it was just easier on filling in the gaps. I just need to get better at that notching, but filling in the gaps and less cleanup and all that. But I know it's a lot more welding doing it that way, but it is what it is. So, all right, well, I'll get back with you in a little while. Okay, I got them sitting up here. So we're pretty much flush with the tire right here. And then what I did is I measured on this inside from the pinch weld here out to 3 inches, about 3 1/8 right here. So I measured down there, and then I turned around and measured down here to make sure it was right that way. Then I got a 4-foot level on the cross member here. And then what I did is I measured from here up and up to make sure that it's square or flat. So on the plates, I got the plates cut. So it'll be a piece of pipe. It's gonna come straight to it. And then once I get it tacked on everything, then I'll probably, you know, round it off or make it look a little nicer than just square like that. So, but I got it all in place. So now next thing is to cut the pieces that come across here. So I really didn't want to go, I could have went further in. So I don't know if I should have made the steps wider. So I know the pipe coming across here is going to protect anything from, you know, falling on that there. But I just don't know if I should have made it to where it came all the way into here and then come out a little bit. So I wanted to use them for steps, not only sliders, but for steps. That's why I'm not going all the way up underneath. So I could go all the way underneath to here, and then it would protect the body like it's supposed to do, but I'm kind of wanting to use them for steps too. So, and then what I did is I took a straight edge right here, and I laid it on the top in between the holes like this. So actually that needs to come down just a little bit. Where it's got a little bit of slack. So it's got probably about 1/8 of an inch gap right there before it hits the pinch weld for the body. So it's just got a little bit of gap. So I don't know if I ought to go a little bit more just for, in case it does flex some. About like that. So you figure that's gonna be the top of your pipe right there. So it's about 1/8 of an inch. And let's see what we got back here. Come down just a little bit. Like so. About right there. So that way there's just a little bit of a gap. Not a lot. So, but anyways, I just don't know if, so that's gonna be pretty good there, but that's how it's gonna look. It's gonna have this gap here, which I guess really ain't a big deal. But normally you would make them kind of come up at an angle like this, and then where the door would open. But I wanted to, like I said, utilize them as some steps too. So that's the reason why I'm doing them flat. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to, when I go to weld that pipe across here, I mean, I could put a little gusset right here. But I mean, for what little bit that is, I don't know if it's really even worth it. But I might go ahead and cut some little gussets to put in right there. And like I said, once I get the pipe welded on, let's go get a little piece and look at it. So it's going to be about like that. So then what I'll do after I get them tacked on there is I'll come back and then I'll trim this here to make it like rounded, or so it's not so terrible looking. But so that's how I'm gonna have to do it, guys. I don't know if it's the right way or the wrong way, but that's how I'm gonna do it. So, and then I guess we could put a little gusset, you know, right here. So I don't know. All right, let me get some measurements and cope out some pipe, stick it up in there, and let's take a look at it. So, all right, I'll get back with y'all in a little bit. All right, guys. Got some presents today. I got some stuff back from Powder Coat. Here's the steps. I got them powder coated. It's a black like texture. I tried to get it like so it wouldn't be slick. I don't know if I like that or not, but oh well, it's done. Got the back rack for the Hummer done. The front rack, goes in the front bumper hitch, and that's the piece that goes on the back where the spare tire was. But I'm gonna get all this stuff on. I found a guy here local that did all this, and he did all of it for $310. So just to give you an idea, that's what something like this would cost. I think each one of the racks were $80. So that piece and that piece was 80. Then that piece and that piece was 80. And these were 150. And I think why these were a little more expensive is because it was made out of steel. So they had to actually sandblast it a lot more, to where on the aluminum, they just brush it, you know, it just, anyways. But yep, now it's gonna look a lot better. It's gonna have some black parts on it, and I'm gonna get the rims powder coated black. They're at $70 a rim. So I got 8 of those. So I got 4 for here and then 4 for the trailer. So I have 2 spares, but I'm gonna run the same size tire on my trailer as I do on my Hummer. But that's if I ever build a trailer. I hope I do someday. But anyways, just gonna let you know. So I'll get back with you and give you some pictures of it outside when I get everything put back on it. So talk to you in a little bit. All right, there it is. Got the steps installed. Not too bad. That's not bad for my first ones. Huh? Got that front rack powder coated black. Looks good, huh? I think for my first time to build some, it's not too bad. Not real crazy about that texture powder coat though. But I mean, it don't look bad, I guess. It's just, they're steps. What do you expect? Back rack. I ain't done the top rack yet because I still got to add some stuff. I want to move that rod holder to the other side and then put a a 270 awning on this side, but I got well some different brackets for that 270 awning, and then add some more stuff to it. Then I'll be taking that off and getting it powder coated. Then I want to get the rims powder coated too. So, but there you go. All right, man. Pretty stout. They're not welded on, they're bolted on. If I was gonna keep them on there, because I might do some different ones or change it up a little bit. I might build a different set that kind of comes up more at an angle and then comes out closer to this bottom of the door right here. So I might do that. So I'm not going to weld those on there, so I might be building a different set, but I'm gonna keep those on there for a while and roll with it. So all right, man, well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got some more stuff coming out. I got to work on a pump cover, coupler cover, another one from scratch. I went and picked up I was going to cut it out myself with the plasma cutter, but I know a guy that has a CNC plasma cutting machine, and I mean, for 150 bucks, he rolled the plate and cut out my pieces for me. So I just got to put it together and weld it up. So anyways, all right guys, well, I'll get back with you. Thank you for watching.